Nvidia is going to dominate 2022. I want to talk with you about why. What's up, guys? I'm here on my channel, Gear Inc., where I get to share what I'm passionate about with you. And my channel, that's PC Tech, Games, and Gear. And I want to talk with everybody on why I think Nvidia really is going to dominate 2022. Now, as a guy who works for a company that builds computers, I can't say which one, 9 out of every 10 machines I see basically have Nvidia GPUs inside of them, especially if they're for gaming. Before the AMD fan club comes after me, let me be very clear. I've used AMD CPUs for the last 4 years. I've used multiple generations of their GPUs. Their current GPUs are just as good as rasterization as Nvidia's GPUs are, and I have nothing against the company because honestly they're kicking the crap out of Intel as far as the CPU market goes. But for GPUs, it's a little bit of a different story. Even in AMD's recent keynotes where they go over the improvements to RDNA 2, architecture, FSR, other features that they're bringing to their platforms, I do believe that Nvidia is still going to dominate the market for a number of reasons. So number one, people are just more familiar with Nvidia when it comes to graphics cards. If you don't believe me, the most recent Steam survey show that literally 75% of all GPUs in gamers' PCs right now are Nvidia. The top 14 results are all Nvidia as well, with AMD coming in with the RX 580 still being the most common card. Now that makes a lot of sense to me given the fact that the 1060 and the 580 have been super valuable for people who are kind of like mid-range or budget gamers who need something that can perform, and they've held their edge really, really well. What's also no surprise is that a lot of the most popular cards are actually on the lower tier. Given the fact that GPUs right now, even for like a 1650, around 400 bucks, this completely makes sense as people have gone pushed to getting what they can afford, and that's basically in this market what you can afford. Now, one of the biggest boons to Nvidia actually has nothing to do with them, it's about Intel. So Intel's new GPUs look like they're going to be actually quite the big performers. They are targeting 3070 to 3070 Ti performance. We should be seeing these cards get officially announced and released in this quarter, and so everyone's kind of looking forward to seeing what Intel can provide. They've got technology to combat both FSR and DLSS, along with ray tracing kind of their own style. And so these are cards that are going to be able to fit a specific niche within the market. MSRP wise, we've gotten kind of a little bit of information on what they're going to come out of. Obviously, nobody plans on those being anywhere close to that price, just with the market being what it is. But the reason that these cards are going to hurt AMD and help Nvidia is because they are going to hit a lot of the same target areas as far as what AMD is currently targeting with their GPUs. But the other thing is they don't have low hash rate. Intel has specifically said that they are not going to constrain these GPUs in any way, meaning that these GPUs are going to be targeted by miners if they have good mining performance, which we have every reason to believe that they will. This is going to help Nvidia dramatically get more GPUs into the hand of gamers, because if less people are buying their GPUs to mine, in conjunction with the fact that they already have low hash rate cards out, it's only going to help get more GPUs into gamers' hands and hopefully help prices on Nvidia GPUs go down. Nvidia also has production on their side. Another big thing that Nvidia has over AMD going in 2022 is their production capacity. The reason that AMD GPUs are so expensive right now actually has nothing to do with miners per se, because they're actually not that great to mine with versus older generations of AMD cards. What's really driven up the cost is availability. AMD has to cut into its own silicon essentially to make these GPUs. They use a lot of the same wafers for what they're doing, and so they have to essentially take away from one product to create another one. Nvidia really doesn't have that issue, as the only thing they do essentially is GPUs. The supply and demand with AMD is simply from the fact that there just aren't enough cards in the market. With Nvidia, the supply and demand being people are buying them again for brand recognition, but also to use them for mining. The other reason that Nvidia will most likely dominate is, even though the new AMD GPUs look like they are going to be performance and exciting, the next generation of Nvidia looks like it's going to be another generational leap. Obviously, some of this stuff is just rumor, but it does look like we're going to have as much as a 50% uplift over current generation Nvidia GPUs. This would be another generational uplift essentially within like a 2-year period of time. And if that's the case, they're going to be able to put themselves in a performance position that AMD is going to have a hard time matching, at least when it comes to the graphics card market. And finally, a big reason that Nvidia is dominating as far as GPUs go is their secondary suite of technology. FSR is actually something that I've done a video on, which is a perfectly viable and good solution if you're talking about using upscaling. But DLSS 2.0 is a game changer. I recently did a video on using my new 4K gaming monitor on how I was able to get like 165 frames at 4K ultra settings in Call of Duty, which yes, it's a terrible game, but the whole point is that I was able to hit those frames with DLSS enabled, which is something that I've just not been able to see with other solutions that are out there. Nvidia's push to be able to do high frame rates of 4K is starting to slowly change the market. And while, yes, it's incredibly expensive to game at 4K, make no mistake that that marketing push is going to continue to trickle down to PC gamers, where I basically believe within like the next 1 to 3 years, 4K will be more the standard for gaming instead of 1080p. And you add to that their NVENC encoder, which simply for people who do video photo editing with the Adobe suite and then streaming, there's just nothing that compares to it in terms of what you can use it for and the performance it gives you. Nvidia kind of hits all the boxes for gaming, for streamers, for photography, for all these other aspects that AMD, again, is just having a harder time competing in with right now. So anyway, guys, for all those reasons, Nvidia is going to continue to dominate 2022. I fully believe that. I really do hope that AMD's new GPUs can compete in a way that I don't foresee them being able to, but I want that to happen. I want there to be competition. I would love something to be able to kick Nvidia off of its pedestal. Intel is really the threat here to AMD in the immediate future, but they do have the money to challenge Nvidia in a way that AMD simply cannot, at least right now. So it'll be interesting. I'm very interested to see this first generation of GPUs hit, and then what they're able to do with their second generation, because that's where things are going to really get interesting. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it for you. If you like this video, leave me a thumbs up. If you thought it was terrible, leave me a thumbs down. Remember to get subscribed and hit that bell icon so you know when these videos drop next. Next video is most likely going to be a giveaway. Like I said, I'm planning on doing a gift card because that's what people seem to like. But as always, I'm going to continue to make content for all of you guys. I appreciate all of you, and I hope to see every single one of you next time here on Geared Inc.